Newsfirst, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Hello there, this is Newsline Prime. Usually it's live, but today it's a recorded broadcast. However, your questions by SMS to 0772 300 305 will be fully addressed in a forthcoming program. Now, this evening we have with us a young, youthful Member of Parliament who has certainly a rather open take on everything that is what we call the current situation. Let's ask him a few questions. He's right here with us, and he is, of course, Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena. Hello there.
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming on the program. We really appreciate it amidst your tight schedule. How's the security?
Thank you so much for having me, Faraz. Security for me is not the most important thing here right now today in Sri Lanka. I think what's important for the people of this country. Every person in this country is fearful, scared and worried of today and tomorrow. We are sad for what happened on the 21st of April Easter attack, and we are devastated, and we are still worried, and we are still concerned what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think what's important is we have to secure the livelihood and bring it back to the back to the how it used to be. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what's important right now.
And how difficult is it going to be?
I think it's going to be very difficult how I see this, because number one, what we see around the world, the global terrorist groups, and we have Sri Lankan terrorist groups who are involved with these global terrorist groups, who have links with these terrorist groups, and we have to cut ties of these international terrorist groups, and then we have to take care of the local terrorist groups which is active here in Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. And we have to face it as a nation. We have to leave the politics aside. We have to leave all the other needs and wants and give priority to this problem. Because what I see is that people are being manipulated, people are being brainwashed to go and commit suicide in the name of God. And there is no religion teaches to kill someone in the name of God. Absolutely. And you are not going to go to heaven by killing another person. You go to hell. And you are not fighting for God, you are fighting for the Satan, because you are being an evil. So I personally think we as normal people who believe in God, who believe in Allah, who believe in Lord Buddha, we are fighting the devil, the Satan. So we have to be united. So if we are not going to be united, we cannot fight this battle.
So we need to be united in the pursuance of love, in the pursuance of unity, in the pursuance of true democracy.
And even as religions, as parties, political parties, and as the society, we should not be divided.
So one nation, one country, one people.
And one law.
And one law. The law is the law.
Yes.
I love that sentence. To me, it was best expressed by President Barack Obama when he spoke at the OAU meeting in Africa, and he said, the law is the law. And he did acknowledge that he had plenty of political life in him, and he was certain of winning, but he could only, even the President of the United States, universally acknowledged to be the most powerful man in the world, was not above the law.
Correct, that's right.
And the law is the law.
Yes.
The law is the law is a good thing, as long as a senior priest, Buddhist monk told me, the law is the law, as long as it's the law is the law for everyone.
Yes.
Not partially applied.
Correct.
And it is in that context that I say to you, and in the context of a one nation, one people, one country, one law for everyone, how possible is it that the leaders of all elected political parties in Parliament will get together and form a form of national government, just composing only the leaders, the President, the Prime Minister, and the other leaders of political parties, as a form of an emergency unity government focusing on lighting up Sri Lanka?
You're absolutely right, Farhas. Actually, as a young member of Parliament, I feel this is our responsibility. I went and spoke to Catholic priest and clergy and the people who have been affected and the others, and this is the pulse of the people. People tell us to be united. So I wrote to His Excellency the President, because he has tremendous responsibility to taking this country forward, and people of this country have faith in him. That's why people have voted for him. So I wrote to him saying that 10 points. The first point is, please, His Excellency the President, get all the party leaders together, get us united. He is the one who can do this.
Indeed.
Because he is the executive president.
Indeed.
So I gave the same letter to Honorable Prime Minister. He agreed. I went personally to the opposition leader, Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksha's house, even though it is politically disadvantaged for a person like me, because someone can attack me in a political manner, but I didn't care. I went to him, I gave it to him by hand, and I told him, please sir, join and be united and face this. And I went and spoke to His Eminence, two Mahanayakas, and then the Speaker of the Parliament. This is the only chance that we have got. We have to get united and fight through.
This is not kiss and tell, but what did President Rajapaksa say to you?
Now, he said that he has to talk with his party and his party leaders of his alliance, and he said that he will produce this letter for his parliamentary group meeting. So I'm waiting for his response. But I spoke to Honorable Prime Minister. He said that, you are right. We are ready to be united, because the 10 points are, in brief,
Yes.
Number one, we have to leave politics aside. As leaders, we all must get together and face this global terrorist attack, which can be happening continuously to the Sri Lanka. That's number one. Number two, we have to appoint a full-time Minister for Law and Order.
Right.
And I personally think that is Sarath Fonseca.
Right.
And number three, we have over 1,600 Pakistani, Afghanistani refugees in this country.
Yeah.
Work out something, either to deport them, or if
But
not...
deport them where?
No, now UNHCR is responsible, right? So we can't hold refugees here in this country. We don't have that capacity, right?
We've got our own refugees.
Yes, so we have to work something out for them, because they are also human, right? We can't kept them exposed. What if something happened to them? What if someone do something to them, or one of them do something to us? We have that fear now, right? For so many years we allowed this without any statistics, right? So either, if not, have them in a secured location, not having them in a police station. Now if you go to the Nigambu police station, there are over 200 refugees, right? That is little dangerous, I think. And then there are certain mosques, they take care of these refugees, right? So we don't know from where they have come, what is their background, whether they are men or women, we don't know. I personally don't know. So anyways, what I'm trying to tell, and then after that, the Sharia University in Eastern Province, this must definitely be taken over by the government. We should take it over.
What's your rationale? Why?
Because one of the thing is, there is a rumor saying that they are going to teach Sharia law.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are standing by a one nation, one law, you can't be teaching another law for these students.
Yeah.
Number two, we should not have higher education institute based on religion. All children of this country should be able to, if they have the knowledge, if they have the capacity, if they are talented, if they have the qualification, if they have the money to go to any university that they want. Right? And I read this report. In that report, 3 committee report, they say there are no toilets for women. When they question why, because they are not recruiting women to this university. That is discrimination. I am against it. Right? So,
Does it bother you?
4 billion rupees have been invested. How the money came, who gave the money, who paid the tax is a question.
So
and
on
when
that
I wanted
basis,
to go and check this university with Honorable Hector Puhami get a call from the Eastern Provincial Council governor saying that not to bring me because I have produced a private member's motion to the parliament saying that this university must be taken to the government, right? So where is the law?
Where is the law?
So what I am trying to tell, these things can be changed. His Excellency the President have the full authority to take actions against this. And not only that, why do we have religion-based political parties? When you have that automatically leads people and the political parties for extremism and racism. That would terrorize the rest of the people of this country. So I think we should not be having religious-based political parties. Ask them to join the mainstream politics. Right?
That would apply to everyone. That would apply to the JHU
and his
as well.
Eminence, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit, he have been keep on telling the government, President, because President is the law and order minister, the 3 forces under him, that clear Nigambo, go house to house and search. I don't see that's happening. So I think the government, on His Excellency the President, has to take precautions, action, because this can lead to a disaster. And I feel it because I am in the ground, I feel the pulse of the people. And in the eyes of the public, they think that we are not secured.
Now, are you comfortable that that everything will be hunky-dory once you took away that the campus to government control, or is that just one part of several programs that you'd like to see put in place?
That is one.
Yeah.
That is one part of it. That is a must. The government has to take this university under the government, right? And I will fight for it. I will fight for it. But at the same time, we are not going to be secured by just taking over this university. Now see...
What about the question, Kavin, about fake news?
No, that is the thing. Now we are getting news from channels like you, and we are watching news every day.
Yeah.
Why? For our safety.
Yeah.
Right? You ban Facebook and social media, that's out of the story.
Yeah.
But channels like you are responsible for what you telecast.
Absolutely.
Right? And throughout the 30 years of war, especially the last 2 years of the war, you know, channels like Sirasa and Rupavahini IT, and you all were at the front line fighting with the terrorists and showing the country what we were doing as the security forces. And people every day watch news just to see how the Sri Lankan forces were progressing, what we were collecting from the LTT, right?
Yeah.
And then what people were curious to know these things.
Yes.
And right now, as Catholics, we are also curious to know what is happening in this country, what is being found,
Yes.
who have been found, who is guilty.
I was hoping you'd come to that.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask you, what's your take on the swords and so on?
Yeah, I'll get there. And now, Deputy Mayor of Nigambo electorate is getting caught with swords, and he's been bailed out. Former Western Provincial Council member from Muslim Congress get caught with walkie-talkie jammers. Why anyone want walkie-talkie jammers? Right?
Jamming equipment.
Yeah,
right.
Jamming equipment. So why? Why? So the people should know. At least people should know it looks like this, right? And where it was found. So this is the we lifted our hands for Right to Information Act.
Yeah.
Right? We must know what happened. We still don't know how many people died after this bomb attack, right? Police spokesman says 300. The hospital in charge is saying 200. Yeah. We don't know.
The GMO says it is about 254.
Yeah, and my other question is, when Saitam was taken to the government, all these GMO, student associations, teachers associations, everyone got to the streets. Why for this one? Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to get to the streets.
Are the people a bit fed up?
Right. No, people are not fed up. We are ready to go and fight in behalf of the country. And
fight for your rights.
Yes.
And you don't mean physical fight.
No, right? Democratically.
Yeah.
Democratically, fight for our rights, fight for our security, right? And now see about the swords. Now these swords are being found, right? And I don't know whether it's politics, I don't know whether what is the reason, but they are keeping press conferences and saying this is for protection of our women. I want to ask these people, have any one of us hurt one of your women, raped them, abducted them, molested them? What have we done?
So there's
right?
Obviously there's
if you are keeping swords in your house, in your worship places, right? Which means we also have to keep swords. We also have to be armed.
Clearly,
okay. If they are not feeling secured, then we also don't feel secured. Right. We are the one who's been hurt. We are the one who's been attacked. We are the one who's been murdered.
Yeah.
We are the one who's been bombed.
Right.
As Catholics, they attack our belief, our faith. Right. In that case, are they telling us to take arms?
Clearly not. So right? Obviously you want to see some tough action being taken.
If they are holding swords to protect their women, right?
Or this is their excuse that they're putting
It's absurd. Right? It's absurd. And to mind you, Muslim politicians are coming in front of the TV holding press conferences saying that every Muslim is not a terrorist. We know that. You don't have to tell that to us. We know every Muslim is not a terrorist.
Yeah.
Right? That's why after this thing happened, Fahad, we didn't go and attack any Muslim. Not by even saying a word. Right. What did His Eminence Cardinal said? Don't react on this. Every Muslim is not a terrorist. We know that. And we don't want the Muslim leaders to come and tell us, political leaders, that every Muslim is not a terrorist. We know that. We respect the Muslim religion. Right? We have good friends who are Muslims. Right? So
obviously the actions of a small minority of members of that community has cast grave doubt on and difficulties for the rest of the community, like we've had. So what you're saying is, we'd like to see immediate, stern action taken under the existing provisions of the law for people who are holding equipment that could be deemed to be weapons, like swords and so on. Yeah. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. And the government, the president, has to uplift this ban for the media, which he have posted yesterday.
Right.
Right? Media should be able to cover what is happening in this country, regardless. Right? Whether it's right or wrong.
Actually, and the government also should be taking action against fake news. For example, last week we had some wannabe broadcasters who had copied the broadcast from our associated Capital Maharaja Group media asset Shakti, and used recordings from Shakti with a different audio track, and pretended that this was this established Newsfirst network. Newsfirst hasn't been in business for a couple of decades and more, and not gained the expertise and the experience necessary to report the truth, not fiction, to the public of Sri Lanka. There's no wannabe broadcaster who's going to get away with that. And we will extend our full force as per the law, as per how much the law permits us to do that, because we're not here to be taken advantage of. We will not let it happen. We haven't let it happen in the last 2 decades. And believe it or not, the Capital Maharaja Group know a thing or two about resilience and bouncing back, because we don't have to remind everybody what happened to our group in 1983. We know what we're doing. And believe it or not, these wannabe broadcasters, they're going to find it very difficult to pull the wool over our eyes, because that would mean trying to pull the wool over the public's eye. And I just thought I had to say that, because I do feel strongly about these wannabe broadcasters. If they want to be broadcasters, they can go to the TRC, get themselves a license, invest millions of rupees, if not dollars, in media assets, and then do what they want to. But they can't have it both ways. They can't be supporting terror, however obliquely it may be, and then think that they can pull the wool over the collective eyes of the population of Sri Lanka. That's just not going to happen, is it?
No. Yeah, I think the government should investigate on that and definitely take measures for that, because people are very concerned right now what is happening around the country, and people are keep watching news, and if there is an element who is trying to fool the people and tarnish your institute name also, then the government must take definitely strong actions against it, and I'm very sorry to hear that.
Well, actually, we'll get to the bottom of that, but Kavinder Jawad, thank you very much for being on the program. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have, because I've enjoyed it because we've delivered once more powerful messages to the people of our country, and that I think is worth. I don't think anything equals that, does it? Thank you very much. And that's the way it was on Newsline Prime. Take care, have a great evening, and God bless.
News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.